thing is the UN, the international community, to immediately distance themselves from the Dubai ruler and the UAE until such time that Latifa is granted her most basic human rights.
The UN Refugee Agency says it's alarmed at the level of violence in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo. It says last year, a record 2,000 civilians were killed in Ituri province and in South and North Kivu, where overnight 10 people were killed in the latest rebel attack. A UN spokesperson said the Congolese army's operations against militia groups have been more successful than in the past, but without the capacity to control the security areas. He said the militias soon returned. This is the latest world news from the BBC.
Live from News 88.7 in Houston, I'm David Moore. Over 1.3 million people in Greater Houston remain without power this afternoon as a result of the city's bitterly cold temperatures. Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner talked about it a short time ago.
And I know how frustrating it is, and people have every right to be frustrated, to be angry. I get it, I understand it, especially for our senior citizens and critical care customers, families with children. It's been a very difficult period.
Things have also been dangerous on Houston's freeways. Houston Police Chief Art Acevedo says they've worked close to 600 traffic crashes since the weather event started.
We've had 2 officers injured to slightly slipping on ice, so be very careful out there. And unfortunately, we've had 3 DOAs, losses of life, 1 homeless individual yesterday, believed to be from the weather, and obviously the 2 family members in carbon monoxide poisoning.
And also hundreds are still seeking shelter here in Houston. Florian Martin looks at some of the services being offered.
The city has expanded the capacity at the George R. Brown Convention Center as a shelter from 200 to almost 800 people, but the center is now full. But Metro buses are transporting those in need of a warm place to other warming centers, including Lakewood Church, which still has plenty of space. Pastor Joel Osteen says anyone is welcome. Also 2 gallery furniture locations, which Mattress Mac has opened for people needing shelter. Anyone who needs a warm place to stay should call the city's helpline at 311 to find out which places are open. There are also warming centers in surrounding cities and counties. I'm Florian Martin in Houston.
For tonight, we're expecting freezing rain. Overnight low should go down to about 29 degrees. For tomorrow, showers, high near 41. I'm Gail DeLauder, News 88.7.
Hello and welcome to News Hour from the BBC World Service, coming to you live from London. I'm James Kamarasamy, and we begin with Yemen, because the Biden administration has called on Houthi rebels to end their assault on Marib, a key government-held city that's home to large numbers of internally displaced people, uprooted by a civil war that's left more than 100,000 dead and millions of Yemenis on the verge of starvation. Speaking at a media conference, the new US envoy to Yemen, Tim Lindeking, called for an end to the fighting.
Unless and until the Houthis change their reprehensible behavior, their leaders will remain under significant U.S. and international pressure. We also urge the Houthis to halt their advance on Marib, which is a city home to about 1 million internally displaced persons in Yemen. In the last year alone, the surge in fighting in Marib caused over 100,000 Yemenis to flee their homes. The Houthis must truly commit to join this effort to finally ending the suffering and this war.
Since the Iranian-backed Houthis drove the internationally recognized government from the Yemeni capital Sana'a in 2014, a Saudi-led bombing campaign backed by the United States and the UK has been trying to reverse the situation, but without success. In his first major foreign policy speech earlier this month, President Biden said the war in Yemen must end and announced that America was ending its backing for offensive operations in the country. We'll assess the significance of what's happening in Marib and the change in US policy in a few moments. But first, a report on the humanitarian disaster in Yemen has been exacerbated by the fighting. In the southwestern city of Taiz, human rights workers say that more than 450 children have been killed or wounded by Houthi sniper fire in the past 6 years. The Houthis deny that. Our international correspondent Orla Gearin and producer Claire Reid sent this report from what's being called the City of Snipers.